Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode brought to you by your host, Debo Knows. So, today we will be diving into a trending web development method that is known as web components. So, a little bit of backgrounds on what they are. They are custom HTML tags that are used and reused like Lego building blocks across multiple websites that a company has made. So, today we will be looking at the design advantages to using web components. So as you can see here, we have the web component example app. Um, what example app does is it creates two different cards that uses the same information for that individual instance. So uh, if I wanted to change the name from Debo Knows to Dylan, it updates here at this heading, but also updates down here as well on this card. Uh, so this is a small example of how it can save time, but on a broader sense, and I can show you here, I have stacked two different instances of this web component. You can see this web component has its own information. Everything is different from what mine is, but the structure, layout, design, and everything is still the same. But say that I wanted to update the color from this pink to a yellow across all instances of this web component, I can just go here and change it to yellow, for example, and it changes here on this instance, but also changes here at this instance too. So I know that this is a pretty small example, but imagine if you have an error in one part of your web component, like a logo has to be changed. You can just update the web component and it will simultaneously update across all web pages. So a real world example of where this should have happened is when Penn State updated their logo to this creepy lion instead of the OG logo. Um, they had to go through each individual Penn State web page and manually rewrite the code to match this logo. Now, if they were using web components, they could have just updated the logo at the source of the web component, and it would have updated across all instances where the logo was used for that web component. So that would have saved them a lot of time, cost, and redundancy on the project of updating their logo. So that's just a small example. There's many different advantages to what web components can do. If you're interested in learning more about web components and the power that they possess, you can go to webcomponents.org. They have a great introduction to what web components are and how to use them, as well as a bunch of different web components that you can use and just browse through. So that about wraps up this week's episode. I hope to see you all back here next week.